Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Just me checking in. I haven't done a video in a while and the kids are finally back in school and we are now into Virgo season a little bit more, so I thought I would pop in and do a video and just check in and see how everybody is doing. I really do want to get on here a lot more regular than I am already, which is nothing at all. I haven't really been on here. So let's get started. I have my Spirit Animal Oracle cards. I'm going to pull a card and then we'll clarify with tarot, and then I have my teeny tiny deck if I need to clarify any more. So let's get started. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. My cards don't want to cooperate. I just need to get on here and just get more comfortable in front of the camera. I keep saying that every video, but every video I'm not making more and more. But now that the kids are both in school, I have nothing stopping me from at least making a video once a week, just to check the energy. So it's Tuesday. So hopefully I'll get in the beginning of the week. If not, we'll see what happens. Just once a week is my goal. So how is everybody doing? Kind of took me a second. Last week the kids have been in school since last Wednesday, so it's taken me a few days to kind of acclimate to having the house stay clean and quiet and stuff. I thought I would pamper myself a little bit, and now it's about that time to get back to work and start some new routine. Virgo's all about practicality, and so trying to take the spiritual and put it into the day-to-day. All right, so we have two cards that came out. We have Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. So that's exactly what I was talking about. The kids are back in school, so I'm not really full-time mom anymore. Now I'm rebirthing into a different aspect of my day-to-day. I don't have to sit here and take care of the kids. Now I can take care of myself, my business, my whatever. So a rebirth is assured, and 5 is all about change, changing your perspective, seeing things in a different way. And then we have 47, Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. So maybe let's not overthink things. Don't put too much thought into it. This pig's flying. A lot of times when people say pigs fly, that's just kind of like, yeah, that's never going to happen type of thing. So try not to think about things that can't change your perspective on trying to see the silver lining or how this can be beneficial for you. This cold is showing you maybe you shouldn't be smoking, or this, maybe you should be eating different, maybe you should be exercising. So all of the dis-ease that your body is showing you is to, I feel like, help you change your perspective and use your mind wisely and not see it as a disadvantage. See it as maybe it's trying to point out something that you should be doing differently. So taking it into more practical sense. All right. So we go from a 5 to a 2. 5 is about change for me. Sometimes it can mean, so when I think of 5s, I think like the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords. Those are all like cutting things out. Or another way I think about it is having everything in balance with a 4 and then bringing Spirit in. So things that necessarily aren't in alignment, Spirit's going to kind of throw a wrench in it and show you where you need to look at it differently. So that's another way to look at the 5, is an area that needs to change. All right. So the Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. So we're all about starting a new cycle right now. I know a lot of us, their kids are going back to school. Teachers are going back to work. So we have the 3 of Swords. So when I see the 3 of Swords, that tells me that your heart and your head aren't quite agreeing with the situation. Again, this helps me, when I see this with the Bat Spirit, it makes me feel like maybe you should, you shouldn't do anything. Nobody should tell you what to do. Maybe you could try to change your perspective and see that where your head and your heart aren't agreeing, maybe there is, okay, well, I'm being brought to this now. Use your mind wisely. So when your heart and your mind can't quite agree on something, follow your heart is what I'm being told. Your mind can be persuaded. Your heart cannot, is what I'm hearing with that. So change your perspective and see how you can try to come from a loving spot as opposed to something maybe more of a mental spot. Maybe come at the situation from more of a loving perspective. Even if it feels like you're being betrayed or you're not quite sure whether this is betrayal in a relationship, a job, a living situation, whether you feel like you're being cheated out of something, it doesn't matter what that is. Because underneath we have the Seven of Swords and then the Six of Swords. So the Seven of Swords talks about being betrayed, being like stealing, a thief in the night. So maybe you're not quite sure about a situation where you felt like you were taken advantage of. And Spirit is saying that even though you're going through rough waters right now, that you are being guided, that the things that no longer serve you will leave you, and you are being guided exactly where you are meant to be. So use your mind wisely, change your perspective, and try to see the silver lining in everything. And I can hear a lot of you say, oh, I just lost my job, or I got kicked out of a place to stay. And it's not necessarily being toxic positivity. It's saying, okay, so maybe this wasn't the best situation for me, and how can I see that in a different perspective and see that I didn't deserve to be here because of X, Y, or Z, and using it instead of saying, oh, poor me, this is where I'm at now, saying, okay, this is where I'm at, because this is where you are, whether you want to be or not. This is the situation you're in, and how can I use where I'm at to better myself in this moment? You don't have to worry about tomorrow. You have to worry about this moment right now. That's all that matters. And if you can get out of your head and into your heart and see that most of the time, if not all of the time, you are taken care of. You are safe. You're okay in your body, even when your mind is telling you otherwise. All right, so let's see this pig spirit. Use your mind wisely. Use your mind wisely. When pigs fly, use your mind wisely. There was a book when I was younger. My mom read it to me called When Pigs Fly, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up. But it was about, a little girl with autism, and she was able to see things in a different perspective because she didn't see things like most people did. That's like an astrophysicist, let's say. He comes in and he does his job the way he was taught to do his job, but if you bring in somebody who wasn't necessarily an astrophysicist taught to learn it this way, they could come in and see it in a completely different sense because they didn't know that this was the rules and this is how you see it. So it's kind of like seeing an alternative route when most people won't see it. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Ooh. We have the Strength card that came flying out. So this makes me feel like something pretty big happened in Leo season, because we have the Lion here. We just got out of Leo season. And when I see the Lamb here, I feel like it's such a vulnerable creature. So maybe something that broke your heart or just was not something you saw coming in Leo season made you feel a little bit more vulnerable where you are now. And with that being said, changing your perspective and seeing that there is good that came out of it, even if it is just the way you see yourself, or just seeing the fact that you're a little bit stronger having going going through, went through, already been through whatever this was, this Three of Swords. Because I mean, if you look at it, she's got her heart right here and it is just fine. Even though mentally she may feel like this, she knows she has the strength within herself. All right. So the reason we are here is vulture spirit. This is the underlining, why we are here. Nothing is wasted. So when you think of a vulture, this is a 9, it's a 63. So when you think of a 9, that's the end of something, because when we go to 10 in tarot, that's a 1, it starts right back over. So a 9 is a completion. So the reason we're here is because you are completing a cycle. Vultures come in and they pick what nobody else wants. Vultures come in and clean up the rest of the bullshit. I'm hearing karmic ties. I'm hearing karmic relationships. So anything that was gross and nobody else wanted it, the vulture comes in and cleans it up. So that is where you are in, that's where you were. That's the reason for this reading, is needing that spiritual cleansing, that real deep cleaning, that come in and your bones hanging out and they have to pour the peroxide in there. You got to get all the shit out of it. And it sucks and it hurts. But you can't go to the 10 without the 9. All right, so I'm going to pull a card for the vulture spirit. So again, I'm hearing change your perspective with the vulture spirit to the bat. I mean, look at the bat. It's completely upside down compared to the vulture. And the vulture is looking back at the past and is cleansing it. Whereas the bat is looking right at you from a different perspective and saying, oh, you know, you look the same, but slightly different, you know? All right, so let's see the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. Oh, beautiful. Another 9 of Swords in the Chariot. So again, something that was mentally you just kept thinking about it over and over and over and over. Mental anxiety, all of these birds that just come down and pick. But that's all it is mental. And it moved you away. Spirit moved you away from that mental anxiety. Even though you may feel like you're not quite sure why, is this really what I wanted? Is this, you know, this is breaking my heart. But mentally, you know that this was killing you. You know it. And whether you wanted it or not, you asked to be moved away from this. So Spirit did exactly what you asked for and moved you so you could change your perspective and see that you have the strength within yourself to use your mind wisely and see that this was moving you out of a dead and dying situation. Vultures don't come in unless it's dead or dying. They don't swoop around healthy animals. They come in when there's nothing left, when they know you're about to die. This is a death and rebirth. And then look at this. Rebirth is assured. So even though you may not feel like it in this moment, you're going through a rebirthing process. You're in that 5, that change right now, but you're coming into a 2 where you're going to have to be making choices. It's having the strength and trusting your heart to know that, yeah, you may be a little bit vulnerable right now, but this is a new opportunity to choose something that you feel connected to your heart. What's right now about what makes sense. It's how you feel. Does it feel like a safe environment? Does it feel like something you want to do? All right. Where we are headed. Rhino, overcoming any obstacle. This is a 5 as well. So we go from a 5 to a 2 to another 5. So we are changing This is all about changing. And when I think of a rhino, they don't come in like a butterfly. A rhino comes in heavy, and they come in making noise. So, a rhino. So I can't help but see that you went from two birds, a bird, a bat, two flying, and then you went to a pig, and then a huge rhino. So you are completely transforming into something that was maybe undernourished, malnourished, kind of just hanging on by a thread, to, when I think of a bat, I think of ancestral healing. I think of somebody that goes in the dark. I mean, these are night creatures, so they see things, obviously from a different perspective, being upside down, but they also can see in the dark. They can see things that others can't see. So, let's see what this rhino spirit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Overcoming any obstacle. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. That is pretty powerful. So the Queen of Wands talks about, this could be any fire signs and water signs here. Feminine energy is really prominent. But this is finding your passion in your heart. So this is getting completely out of your head. There's no swords here. This is your heart. Sorry, I was cut off there. My alarm went off to go pick up the kids, so I gotta wrap this up. But you go from the Nine of Swords to the Queen of Wands. So you moved completely away from any of that mental anxiety. Sorry, my light is falling. And into a creative, loving energy by overcoming any obstacle. And your underlining for that is the Ten of Wands. So walking away from things that no longer serve you, heavy burdens, things that no longer light your fire. So I hope that helps. And like I said, I know you may feel like you're going through some things right now. You probably are. Most of us are. And that is just right on time. You're always right on time. Remember that. And trust that you are being led to a good change. Something that is going to feed your soul. Something that is going to spark your interest. Something that's going to light you on fire. And I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you for listening and thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye.